Good morning. In this class, we will study about second law of thermodynamics, especially Carnot engine, Carnot cycle, and then we will solve few problems based on Carnot engine and also adiabatic expansion. We have studied in the last class the fundamentals of adiabatic expansion. As I told earlier, most of the JEE question, NEET question, JAM or CSI or GATE are all based on fundamental concepts. Unless you watch the videos of the fundamentals, you cannot solve the problems. Okay, so let us now see what is Carnot cycle. As I said, Carnot cycle is based on isothermal expansion, adiabatic expansion, isothermal compression, adiabatic compression. As you see, this is the graphical representation of Carnot cycle. Okay, here there are 4 steps involved. There are 4 steps. For example, A to B. This is isothermal expansion. Okay, this is isothermal expansion, and this is B to C is second step. That is adiabatic expansion, reversible, isothermal reversible expansion, the first step. The second step is adiabatic reversible expansion, and the third step is compression. Okay, isothermal reversible compression, and this fourth step is adiabatic reversible compression. Okay, so you have studied basically, and we have discussed in the previous 2 videos isothermal reversible expansion, for example, isothermal adiabatic compression, reversible expansion. So any Carnot cycle or Carnot engine or heat engine consists of 4 strokes, they will say, or 4 steps. One is isothermal reversible expansion, adiabatic reversible expansion. The third step is isothermal reversible compression, because the volume decreases. In this step, volume increases. In this step, okay. So, and the last step is adiabatic compression. Okay, now let us see isothermal reversible expansion. In this, the heat is supplied. Okay. Heat is supplied, that is Q1. For example, in isothermal, if you remember, if you see the first video, I will show the heat is supplied. Heat is supplied in this. Okay. Therefore, the heat supplied is Q1, and the temperature, since the isothermal expansion is taking place at constant temperature, therefore the temperature is constant. Okay. And the second step, and similarly, delta H equal to 0, delta U equal to 0, delta T equal to 0. Please see the previous video so that you will understand everything. Okay, next, this is adiabatic expansion, reversible expansion. In this case, there is no heat, Q equal to 0. Okay, this is there is no heat. Therefore, Q equal to 0. Therefore, the temperature falls. As I said earlier, during adiabatic reversible expansion, there is a decrease in temperature. For example, in this this is temperature T1, and then the temperature falls because the expansion occurs at the expense of the internal energy. Using the internal energy, the expansion occurs. Whereas in this case, the heat is absorbed and the work is done by the heat absorbed. In this case, the expansion occurs at the expense of internal energy. Okay, so T2, this temperature is T2, this temperature is T1, and now this is isothermal reversible compression. Okay, opposite, heat is released. In this case, heat is released. Okay, minus exothermic. This is endothermic. The heat is absorbed. Plus sign. The sign also here you will understand. Minus Q2. The heat is released. The heat is absorbed. In the reverse, when we compress, the heat is released. Okay, to the sink. Heat is absorbed from the source. And then in the fourth step, as you see, the temperature remains constant T2, and then adiabatic compression. In the case of adiabatic compression, again the work is done on the system. We have seen, and also the temperature increases. Now the temperature, you see, the temperature increases to T2 to T1. Okay. Now, using this, we can calculate the efficiency of the heat engine. The efficiency of the heat engine is equal to the ratio of work done by the system, net work done by the system, divided by the heat absorbed by the system. How much heat absorbed, and it is converted, how much heat absorbed is converted into work. That is the efficiency of the engine, efficiency of the heat engine or Carnot engine. Therefore, it is T1 minus T2. T1 is the temperature of the source, T2 is the temperature of the sink, and divided by T1. Q1 is the heat absorbed and Q2 is the heat released, divided by Q1. This is the fraction of the heat absorbed that is converted into work. That is converted. If it is always the efficiency of a heat engine is less than 1. It is less than 1. Okay, it is not equal to 1. According to based on this, second law was postulated. Second law was proposed based on this, because according to first law, the heat is converted into an equivalent amount of work according to first law. But in this case, the entire heat absorbed is not converted into an equivalent amount of work. So W is Q is always greater than W. V1 is always greater than W, because W is not greater than Q1. It may be asked in the competitive examination. Q1 is greater than W because only a fraction of the heat absorbed by the system is converted into work, the net work done. Okay, now I have given what is it is impossible based on this Carnot cycle, Carnot engine, Carnot theorem. The second law was proposed. It is impossible to construct a heat engine to completely convert heat into work without compensation. That is the second law, and the second law of thermodynamics. And also all the spontaneous processes are irreversible according to second law of thermodynamics. All spontaneous processes are irreversible. So, to understand this, we need to know what are isothermal expansion, adiabatic expansion. In the previous two videos, we have clearly explained. Now, let us solve a problem asked in CSIR 2012. A Carnot engine takes up 90 joule heat from the source. How much heat? 90 joule heat from the source at 300 Kelvin. The correct statement, I have given only one choice here because of lack of space. Okay, now let us understand this. First, what are given? Okay, first given. Let us write the given. So, this is the source is given. Source, what is source? Q1. So, Q1, the heat supplied by the source is 90 joule. Okay. And then the temperature of the source is known. We are given 300 Kelvin. Okay. Right. Next, what they have given, using this, they have given four statements. Which one is correct? Therefore, you can write this Q1 minus Q2 divided by Q1 according to the efficiency of the Carnot cycle. From Carnot cycle, you obtain Q1 minus Q2 divided by Q1. Okay. Now, you just, what is Q1? You substitute Q1 90 joule, okay, minus Q2. Q2 is the, here it is given, the answer they have given. For example, Q2 is 60 joule. Heat given to the sink. Therefore, divided by 90. You are given four options. First, let us take first options, whether it becomes equal. Right? T1, what is T1? This is the source temperature. Source temperature is T1. Okay. And then, what is the sink temperature? The answer it is given, whether it is the statement is correct or wrong. And divided by what is 300 T1. Okay. So if you do that, 30 joule divided by 90 joule. So the efficiency is not always 100%. So 30 by 90 equal to 1 1 by 3. Okay, this is equal to 100 by 300. Okay, therefore this is 1 by 3. Therefore the option, the correct statement is this one. In other options, they have given 300 Kelvin 60 joules and 300 Kelvin 250 Kelvin. Therefore this option is correct. Okay, based on heat engine or Carnot cycle, they have asked. Here, if you look at this expression, okay, you divide this expression. For example, Q1, therefore 1 minus Q2 by Q1. Okay. And it is actually entropy is obtained from this Carnot cycle. Entropy expression, entropy is a state function. It is obtained from this Carnot expression. Therefore, 1 T2 by T1. Therefore, you bring it here. What will you get? Therefore, Q1, this will get cancelled. Okay, minus will get cancelled. Therefore, Q1 by T1 equal to Q2 by T2. Okay, this is constant. PV is equal to constant, like PV, P1, V1 equal to P2, V2, P1, V1 equal to P2, V2, T1, V1 equal to, similarly, this is a constant. Okay, this is called nothing but S, delta S equal to Q by T. Okay, the new thermodynamic function was proposed while we derive the Carnot cycle. The entropy is nothing, is a new thermodynamic state function. It is a state function similar to delta H and delta G. Okay, from the Carnot cycle, the second law was stated, and also the entropy was proposed. The new term entropy was proposed. Now let us solve the second problem. 14, it asked in JEE, 14 gram of oxygen at 0 degrees Celsius and 10 atmospheric pressure are subjected to reversible adiabatic expansion to a pressure of 1 atmosphere. The work done is in liter atmosphere, they have asked, or in calories also it can be asked. For example, given data, what are all given? 14 gram of oxygen, weight of oxygen equal to 14. Okay, therefore number of moles of oxygen equal to 14 by 32. Okay, number of moles. Right. Next, what they are given, subjected to a pressure of 1 atmosphere, reversible adiabatic expansion to a pressure of 1 atmosphere, expansion to a final pressure is P2 equal to 1 atmosphere. Okay, and okay, and this is the 14 gram of oxygen at 0 degree atmosphere and 10 atmosphere. Therefore, T1 equal to given 10 atmosphere. During expansion, the pressure decreases. You see, during expansion, the pressure decreases 10 atmosphere to 1 atmosphere. It is correct. And then temperature is at first 0 degrees Celsius, that is equal to 273 Kelvin. And also they have given gamma equal to 1.4. Gamma, the value of gamma, it is given in the problem, 1.4. Therefore, T1 equal to, it should be always 0 degree plus 273 Kelvin. Plus 273. Therefore, T2 during expansion, listen, please follow carefully. During adiabatic reversible expansion, there is a fall in temperature. As I said, there is a fall in temperature. Therefore, the temperature will be less. Now, how do you find this? Now, what is the work? They have asked work done during the adiabatic reversible expansion. Therefore, work equal to NR. Yesterday, we have derived this formula. If you go through the previous video, you will know W NR gamma minus 1. Okay, and T2 minus T1. Okay, we have already derived this expression. Now, N is the number of moles. Here, you know number of moles, you know, and gamma 1.4, you know, and T2. What is T2? T2 is T2 we don't know now. Okay, we have to calculate how it is calculated. See, you know that PV to the power gamma equal to constant. Okay, so PV is equal to, we know that PV is equal to RT for 1 mole. Okay, PV is equal to RT. Therefore, what you will find out? So B equal to RT by V. There is a relationship. What is the relationship between? See, you know P1, P2. You don't know T2. How to calculate this? We have already derived the relation. See, we have already derived the relationship between PV. We have already derived the relationship between TV. Okay, we don't know the relation between P and T. Okay, now see how the derivations are important. Unless you know how to derive, simply you memorize the formula, it will not help you. You need to know how to derive the expression. For example, I will derive now the relation between P and T. Okay, now you see V, you substitute here. So V is equal to RT by T. Let us substitute in this expression P RT. Okay, instead of RT by T, gamma equal to constant. Okay. Now what you will get? P you can bring it 1 minus gamma. We can bring it up. Okay, 1 P minus gamma. Okay. Now T gamma. R is a constant, so you can take it out. R is a constant, therefore equal to constant. Another constant. R is a constant, therefore P power 1, P power minus gamma, I have taken up, and T gamma equal to 1. Therefore, P 1 minus gamma, okay, 1 minus gamma, P gamma equal to constant. Therefore, now P gamma, P1 1 minus gamma, then P1 gamma equal to, according to P1 D1 equal to P2 V2. Similarly, therefore P2 V2 1 minus gamma, okay, and P1 P2 gamma. Now you know that gamma equal to 1.4. Gamma equal to 1.4, it is given, and P1 is given. So you will put 10 atmosphere, and you know P1. Okay, you know T1. Okay, you don't know T2. What is the final temperature? Okay, so P2 is given 1 atmosphere, 1 minus gamma. So you can calculate, and T2 can be calculated. Okay, if you calculate T2, it will come to 141.1 Kelvin. Okay, there is a fall in temperature. You see, there is a fall in temperature. Now you have calculated. Now you substitute in this expression. Okay, N you know 14 by 32. Okay, into liter atmosphere. So you have atmosphere. You use always liter atmosphere. That will be easy. 0.082 divided by T2 minus T1, T2 141, T2 minus 273 Kelvin, okay, divided by, this is liter atmosphere, joule per Kelvin, always write unit, number of moles in, therefore divided by gamma minus 1.4 minus 1. If you calculate, the value will come around to minus 11.8 liter atmosphere. W is liter. Now in this case, adiabatic expansion, the work is done by the system. Therefore, it will be, the work is done by the, not done by the system. Therefore, it will be negative. Work is done on the system, then it will be positive. We have seen earlier. If you go back and see. Okay, so this is the answer. Suppose in calories, if they ask, you know that in calories, if they ask R equal to 0.0826 liter atmosphere unit also get equal to 1.98 calories. Therefore, you can calculate in terms of R 8.314 joules. You can calculate work in terms of joule. Okay. So thank you for watching. We'll continue.